Alright out there, today is the C-notch day. So I built a couple jigs on what I actually want the C-notch to look like. I did this basically for a mock-up just so it was easy to kind of get measurements and everything that I needed. And I built these a couple days ago on my new saw. Got a radial arm band saw, so it does a horizontal cut and a vertical cut. I'll take you over there and kind of show you how that works. I've done a lot of work already with it. I built this section right here for the triangulated four-link. I also built these out of that, and I'll explain this a little easier because it's easier to hold this than it is for me to hold it in metal. Okay, so right here I have a 35 degree on both sides, and then I have a 20 degree here. So if you're doing a C-notch like this, it needs to equal to 90 degrees, and that's basically on half. So you have a 20 degree here, 35 and 35, which makes 90. You do another 35, another 35, and another 20, you get 180 degrees, which is basically what that is. It's 180. So let me take you over here and I'll introduce you to the saw. I'll show you how that works, and then we will take these pieces off and transfer it over to some metal and get these notches built. So let's go check out our new toy. So our first angle that we're going to cut is going to be at 20 degree. Now that's going to be the very bottom of the C-notch. This is where it's actually going to weld to the bottom of the frame. So I'm going to put this on a 20 degree. So all I got to do is slide this bad boy over to here to 20 degree. And it's pretty darn accurate. I was quite surprised for Harbor Freight. If you guys remember my last tool review that I did on the DeWalt chop saw, well, after purchasing this, I took that chop saw back. This thing is absolutely amazing. I built it on a cart, and I kind of screwed it to the cart just temporarily, but it's screwed to the wood, and then the wood screwed to the cart. So I can move this cart around. I'll show you. So I can get my angles right. So basically, just take my cart, and I move it to fit where I need it to be. I can go like this, and I can adjust my cart to fit my table, and then I just leave the metal on the table. So I'm going to get this all locked down and make a cut. Come back in a couple minutes. So before I make my cut, I built two of these, one for the driver's side and one for the passenger side. So I'm just going to transfer everything that I built here onto this piece of metal. So this is a 20 degree angle right here. It's basically being cut like that. This is the front, outside, because if you cut the inside, it's a different angle. And this is the passenger side. Alright? So I just have that there so I know where I'm cutting. And then I'm going to lock this down. And all you have to do is get everything squared up to where it's flat. And if you notice, my saw is angled to meet the angle of my table. And I lock that down, and then I'm going to go ahead and fire it up and get it cutting. So really simple to operate. It's a switch right here, turns it on, and then it has a spring here in the back for tension. I noticed when I cut the wood, it was cutting a lot different. Sorry about that. The wood cut a lot different than the metal. So here I go. Just going to let it rest onto it, and then once it starts to cut, I found I just want to kind of hold it for a few minutes, or just kind of a few seconds, just till it starts to make its track. Then once it starts to make the track, I'll throw some oil in it, and then I can let go. And what I do is I just kind of oil this so that as it comes down, it has a little bit of lubrication there. Once it goes all the way through, I started the clock. It's 10 after 7 right now. So I'll fast forward through this clip just so you kind of see how fast it goes, and then I will come back when it's done cutting. An angle like this usually cuts in about anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes, depending on the speed. I have it on the slowest speed right now. So I'll come back in just a few minutes. Okay, so looking here at the clock, I'm completely done cutting this piece, and it just fell, and it's completely cool to the touch. I mean, it's warm, but I can keep my hand on it. I mean, that's right where it cut. So it's a very nice, clean cutting saw. And if you look, I'll bring it up close to you guys. This is what you have. I mean, it's just really good. There's one little edge right here. You can see it. One little tiny edge that'll just come right off of the grinder. And if I adjusted it, the switch to where it shut off just a little bit lower, I could even get rid of that. But that's it, man. Perfectly clean cut, flat, straight, razor sharp too, and good to go. So now what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you noticed in the video, I was actually able to do other things while this was cutting. I mean, I was grinding, taking measurements, taking things apart. That's what I love about this saw. So I just basically took my leg off of my C-notch. You come back over here, my little jig that I made. So I just took the leg off, and then I'm going to transfer that over to my metal. So that's my 20 degree. So I'm going to just line that up, come over here to 35, line that up. I do have to flip it over because of the angle. That's why it's important to make a wood mock-up. And then I'm going to cut the other one at a 35, and I'll show you that one. So there it is. We got the first C-notch done. It's not welded together yet. We still gotta do the weld. But this saws, man, it's kicking butt. It's so nice. Makes an easy job for cutting angles. Got a couple more cuts to make, and we're gonna come over here and get it all welded up into place. But it's going good. Alright, so that makes it for the day. We're pretty much done with both sides. These things, man, they're like absolutely perfectly square. And that is not because of me, that's because the saw does such an amazing job doing what it's supposed to do. So I'll bring you in a little bit closer so you can see exactly how square this is. So here it is, final product. You can see that they are pretty much absolutely perfect, and I haven't even welded them yet. The seams, they are just top notch, man. I like it. It came out really good. So there it is, final on C-notch. Now we're gonna get them welded together. So there it is, guys. We are done with the C-notch. Now I may do another video of me tack welding it into place. I'm not sure. I mean, welding's welding. We're not here to really show you how to weld. There's so many professional people that can teach welding. WeldingTipsAndTricks.com. There's so many weld channels out there. I'm not even going to go into that. But what I want to teach here is fabrication. So that's going to be probably it for that part of the C-notch, just to kind of show how to build them. Welding them is simple. This will probably be our next video. We're going to be doing the triangulated 4-link, and we're going to be building a bracket, which we've already built, but we just basically cut some square metal, and then we're going to weld this to the axle. These two tabs right here go to the axle, and then this is going to be welding to the support that we're building right now. So that'll be next week's video. So please rate, subscribe, comment, and we will see you guys next week. And don't forget to mention what you guys are working on. Love to hear what you guys have in order and what your projects are as well. So we'll talk to you next week. See ya.